Hey, what's going on, you guys? It is BarbMeetsWorld, and I am back again with another recap and review for The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 14. Sun's out, buns out. Okay, we love to hear it. I'm right here, and I'm here to talk to you guys about this episode. But before we get into that, go ahead, hit that like button for me, okay, please, and thank you. It helps me get all intertwined into the algorithm here on YouTube, and it helps me push out my content to viewers like you guys so we can continue to grow this community. Also, don't forget to comment. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Let me know what you guys thought of my commentary as well. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell as well. Check the description box for all pertinent information. And let me go ahead and throw my banner up here. Why don't you? Why don't I? Okay, you guys. So this episode, it was aight or whatever. It definitely had me annoyed with certain people. That's something that's very on brand with this particular franchise. So wasn't surprised there, but let's get on into it, shall we? This episode opened up with Candiace walking off as Aneka got crowned by Gizelle. She's supposed to be the new Grand Dame of Potomac. Yeah, we're not buying it. We don't care. Doesn't matter to us. So with that being said, Gizelle, just goodbye to you and your Party City crowned. No feathers were ruffled, at least Karen's weren't. But again, Candiace did walk off because she was over it. She was like, this is stupid. Why I'm not even going to give this my attention right now. That's just how stupid I think it is. And I don't fault her for that. Wendy, of course, notices that Candiace walked away. She's like, where's Candiace? So she goes after her and she's like, what's up? Where'd you go? She's like, I went to go get my necklace, girl. That was dumb as hell. Like, that was dumb. And I just wasn't here for it. Aneka gives a thank you speech, so to speak, in which she throws some subtle shade at Karen. I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but I sure did. She said, as you know, I purchased my home and spent a lot of money. I felt like that was shady remark number one. And she also referred to Karen as like elderly, or the title of Grand Dame being something that is typically reserved for a older person. Shade number two. Okay, we caught that. Again, Wendy went to go find Candiace. Gizelle comments on how Karen gets when she tries to hide that she's upset or angry or whatever. And I was like, it's not even that as much as it's probably like her looking at you like you're an idiot, looking at you like you have no life, looking at you like you wish you could. Those would be my thoughts, y'all. I'm just saying. Those would be my thoughts. So, anywho, right after that, they jump into the golf carts. It's time to go have some fun. It's time to eat. It's time to do whatever. So they all hop in the golf carts. Not Gizelle shading me as big feet, y'all. That was too funny to me, at least. Because it was Gizelle and Mia riding together. I don't remember who else was paired with who, but I do know that they were both riding together because Mia's as crazy behind the wheel as she is in her everyday life, if you ask me. So they actually went to do some night golf before they went to dinner. Night golf actually did look a lot more fun, at least for me, in comparison to regular golf. I don't know if I said it last week. Golf has never been like my thing or anything, but it did kind of look fun. It did look fun when they were hitting the blow up marker things. and they light up. That's how you know you're on target, so to speak. That did look fun. Aneka did well. Candiace did well. I don't remember who else, but I do remember a couple of them did I, so to speak. So as they're doing that, you know, everyone kind of breaks off into their onesie twosie pairs, and somehow, and I don't remember if it was Ashley that brought it up, probably so, because Ashley's messy and she know how to do to bring stuff up and be messy all the time. She brings up Jason. We know that Jason is Gizelle's friend. I'm not even gonna say boyfriend, because she actually lets us know in this episode that it's not. It's basically a situationship. But I'm like, girl, you're way too old to be finding yourself in predicaments like that, if you ask me, at your big age. I will never understand her, y'all. I will never understand her. But again, they break off kind of, and it's Ashley, Gizelle, and I believe Aneka were amongst each other, kind of discussing the details of Gizelle and Jason's relationship. That's not a relationship, but they've been dating since November at this time. And I believe it has to be at least June when we're seeing this episode. So they've been dating for a little bit, I guess we'll give her that. And they haven't discussed marriage. I haven't touched on any of that or anything like that, but he does respect the fact that he does respect her enough to not be plastering other ladies on his social media. But I've actually heard conflicting stories about that. So y'all let me know in the comments if that's really true or not, because I don't know. I don't follow her. I don't follow him on social media. So yeah. Karen and Gizelle, they take a moment to discuss how Karen and Gizelle, I said Karen and Gizelle. Karen and Candiace take a moment to discuss how Candiace had walked off earlier when Gizelle pulled that stunt, and she kind of just wanted to, I guess, check her temperature on it. And Candiace says again that it was effing stupid. And Karen's like, you know, it was, but that's Gizelle. She has nothing going for her. She has nothing going on. So she, of course, is going to throw jabs. And if I were Candiace, I wouldn't have been surprised by that comment, because that has been something that Gizelle has displayed throughout all 8 seasons of this show, y'all. If you don't believe me, then that's on you. But Gizelle is somebody that displays the behavior of somebody who is very bored and doesn't have anything going on in their own lives. So they must divert their attention and their antics toward another person that has more things going for them, is how I deduce it. What else in this scene? I did appreciate Karen saying that. However, y'all, I must say that I need Karen to actually not just say that in confessionals or when she's with Candiace or whoever. I need her to actually say that as it's happening in front of the whole group, because y'all, Karen is the only generally neutral person that can kind of bring everybody together, at least physically, and physically together. So because she yields that power, because she is the fan favorite, because a lot of us think of her as the face of this franchise, she needs to rechannel that power into actually saying comments like this to the person. Because what good is it if you can say this to Candiace, like, oh yeah, Gizelle has nothing going for her, that's why she just, you know, takes these jabs, these low blows, whatever. You say that to Candiace, but you actually need to say that to Gizelle in front of other people, because since you are so well liked, I feel like it would just go over a lot better from someone like you. I feel like that's the only way that we can maybe start to see a little bit of change, or start trying to right some of these wrongs that we see all throughout the mix of this show. But moving on, y'all. And Kiana needs to stop giving Gizelle so much as it pertains to her coming in and checking on her. I still don't fully believe that that was genuine. I'm sorry. I just don't. I mean, if it was, then cool, whatever. But I don't feel like she should buy into that so fast, because Gizelle is someone who's super calculated and, again, does things because she has nothing else going on in her own life, and does things to exploit people such as Candiace, people such as Wendy. So moving right along, they hit up La Casita, I believe is the name of the restaurant that they went to eat. And they had a really nice dinner outside on the terrace of the restaurant. And when I say they ordered all of my faves, y'all. They ordered Caesar salad. I heard coconut shrimp. I heard lobster. I heard snapper. I was like, y'all, that's one thing I will say. They be ordering some good food on this show. They do. And I would have been right there eating all up, which is why I got on my waist trainer here right now and why I went to the gym this morning. Okay. So when they're at the table after they order and everything, Gizelle opens up the dinner conversation by thanking Karen for giving her some advice earlier on at Aneka's house, I believe. At Naka's house, I believe, because that's how Gizelle referred to Aneka throughout this entire episode, as Naka. I think Robyn even called her Naka too. And did Aneka correct them at any moment in time, y'all? No, she did not. So let's just resonate with that for just a second. Couldn't be me, because I'm gonna correct you every time. I don't care, especially on national TV. Like, tell me you're a pick me without telling me you're a pick me is what it was giving. Embarrassing. So anyway, going back to what Karen told Gizelle. Karen told Gizelle a piece of advice that she actually got from her own mother when she was super upset when I believe her son was graduating college, or something was going on with Karen's son where she should be there, very present, celebrating him. And instead, she was kind of in her feelings or whatever, because it was clearly a milestone of her, child growing up. So she passed that piece of advice on to Gizelle, someone who is about to see their oldest go off to college, because we know that Grace is currently enrolled and is studying at FAMU, which is in Florida. So she just wanted to thank her for that. And that also opened up the conversation a little bit more to, the things that are going on in Florida right now, legally, as far as, their legislation and all that type of stuff. So I think it was Mia that brought up the question about, does Gizelle have any concerns with Grace going to school there? Like, how does she feel about that? They wanted to pick her brain about that. So Gizelle's like, of course I do. But at the end of the day, it was super important for Grace to go to an HBCU, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. Like, I, trust her judgment or whatever. And what I want to point out during this conversation is the fact that Candiace and Wendy were supposedly making faces at what Gizelle was talking about. Will I say that there were faces? Yes, there were faces being made, y'all. There were. Will I go on to say that those faces were being made at Grace, at the specific topic that we were discussing in this moment? No, I won't say that. I won't say that, because I feel like these are two ladies that have obviously glaringly apparent issues with the person speaking. And I think that these faces were directed at Gizelle, not at Grace, if that makes sense. And taking it a step further, I think they were fully entitled to feeling that way. It's like if you don't really see it for somebody and they speaking or whatever, it's just kind of like one of those, just sit here and be awkward and just kind of like keep my thoughts to myself. Okay, just, watch the paint dry. It's giving that, at least for me. And even if it wasn't giving that, regardless of what it's giving, y'all, they are completely entitled to feeling the way they do or giving off whatever energies they're giving off, because Gizelle did nothing but give these ladies her ass to kiss since episode 1 of this season, since other seasons, since day 1, since forever, since the dinosaurs were roaming the earth. Gizelle has been giving these ladies her ass to kiss. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and go back and do your own homework and go ahead and go back and see how we got to this point. Go ahead, roll the footage, the beautiful bean footage, and see exactly what I'm saying. You will see exactly what I'm saying. Moving on. But of course, certain people had to pinpoint that. And whilst having this conversation, once Gizelle wraps up, Wendy does chime in and say, where is it? Candiace did bid her congratulations as well. I will say that. Yes, Wendy also chimes in to say that from her perspective, Florida is not the best state in this current moment for Black and Brown people as it pertains to their safety and well-being. And due to Florida abiding by the Stand Your Ground law, she would not send her 2 Black sons to school in the state, in its current state. I understand. I'm gonna assume somebody asked Wendy a question, and that's why she offered up this information or her opinion on the matter. And I say that because I'm not really understanding where else this would fit in this conversation. And by no means am I taking them for Gizelle. We're not doing that over here. You don't even have to think that. Y'all don't even have to question that. But I was a little confused when Wendy brought this up, because I'm like, okay, well, like, what do you really expect her to do at this point? Like, do you expect Grace not to go? Gizelle had just said that she had graduated on Monday and she was just about to go off to the school or whatever on the following Tuesday or whatever. So I'm not understanding exactly what was expected once Wendy offered up that her opinion on it, I should say. Yeah, I was kind of confused by that, y'all. Let me know what you thought of that part in the comments, please. And I really wanted Karen to save her kind matriarchal remarks for herself, y'all, and that's because I knew exactly where it was going as soon as she started to speak about this, because this is a show that we can't ever really have. We can't linger too long in good moments, so to speak. And when Karen was going on about, this is, what sisterhood is about, or this is what it means to be in this group or whatever. We're women that celebrate and support other women. No, you're not. I'm not saying all of you guys aren't, but there's definitely a few in the bunch that I don't believe share in that sentiment. I don't. And I'm saying that because Gizelle, of course, almost immediately jumps in to say that they should be able to also like pretty much correct each other when someone else is in the wrong. And that would be the case, and that would be accurate if Gizelle was also somebody that practiced that. Gizelle is not someone that typically owns their stuff. She doesn't have a history of owning her part and stuff. So I'm like, I find it mighty funny that you're the one bringing this up. And her whole reason behind bringing this up is going back to when Karen made the remark about Mia effing rappers and a married man and all that. And just I was like, had that been her, she would have been all up in arms. It would have been a big issue. And I'm like, I don't believe that, because somehow, even when things are brought to the forefront that you've done, Gizelle, you're able to deflect, or you're able to not own up to it. And we could just continue filming and going on about our days. You don't ever care. So why should we? Why should Karen? And furthermore, Karen's like, every single time. Is that when she says it? So then Karen and Mia actually start going back and forth a bit. and at the end of the day, Karen's like, listen, Linda, you don't even know my story. You don't even know your own story half the time, because what's be coming out of Mia's mouth, y'all, is beyond me a lot of times. And classic Mia, she tries to act as though she has dirt on Karen or her marriage or whatever. And I'm not saying she does or doesn't, but we can never believe anything that comes out of Mia's mouth. So until I see concrete receipts, y'all, I don't really care what she's talking about. Until we see concrete receipts, she could just be making this up like she makes everything else up, including her being a CEO and a boss. It's crazy. And this is again when Kiana finally addresses Wendy and Candiace for not checking on her earlier when she wasn't feeling well. And they were just kind of like, oh, girl, it wasn't even like that. I didn't mean to make you feel abandoned. Like, sorry, like that was not even where we were trying to come from with that. And she thanks Gizelle and Ashley again. I already spoke on this, not going to go into any more spiels about it, but I will say, and I'll leave it at that, Kiana, don't be so easily influenced and convinced by these ladies. That's all I'm going to say. They head back to the house after dinner because they got to get up super early. So we're not going out this night or anything like that. Big old snooze fest. The next morning, everyone wakes up, and Candiace and those glasses were absolutely sending me. Wasn't really understanding why she had those on, but she says that she just, yeah. I think it was because it was bright. Yeah, I think it was because it was bright. Wendy's pajama set was so cute, y'all. I need to know where she got that from. My sister would love that. So freaking cute. And my only other question is, does Gizelle just jump up right in the morning first thing and just start talking ish? I'm assuming she does, because she wasted no time doing that during this morning. Yeah. Yeah. Inside. Oh yeah. Did you guys peep Aneka sipping champagne too? Because I dang sure did. And I'm like, oh, haven't learned her lesson yet. Okay. That's her business though, not mine. Me and Karen apparently made up, according to the footage that we saw. It wasn't on camera, but they apparently made up. So at least one fire has been put out so far on this trip, and hopefully it remains that way. So at this point, Gizelle has also decided that she's not going to be speaking to Wendy or Candiace because they were making scrunched up faces when she was talking about her daughter. So therefore she doesn't need to have those people around. She doesn't need to address those people or whatever. And am I crazy, y'all, or has Gizelle not addressed them this entire season? So I don't really understand why she needed to say that. Nothing has changed if that's the case. You weren't talking to them yesterday. Even if that didn't happen, you still weren't going to talk to them today. So I'm not really understanding why she needed to say that. It was just stupid as hell to say, in my opinion. Once they all come out and grab some breakfast, Robyn gives the sequence of events for the upcoming day. And I was like, oh, Robyn just has on, she just has that on because she was just lounging around or whatever. She just threw something on. She wasn't naked, so to speak, in front of the camera, right? She saw her scarf on, whatever. Y'all, tell me why this was really what Robyn wore. And all she did was snatch that scarf off and comb her hair down and keep it moving. Really can't make this up. Like, nothing about her screams looks, nothing about her screams stylish. I care about my appearance. It just doesn't exude anything but just blah. Blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you guys something else you don't know. So after she tells them the sequence of events, they all go and head outside to play a game of answer the damn question, as you guys see pictured right here. The first question was fast and hard or slow and sensual, because of course we have to talk about we have to always talk about sex. That seems to be the only time these ladies are able to come around and kind of have, somewhat of a good conversation or have a kiki or whatever. That's like the only time that they are able to really do that. So we'll take it. We'll take it just so we have something entertaining to watch, I guess. And they all go and, share their answers and all of that. And I believe the next question was addressed to Yarna, and it pertained to her, like, living out all of her fantasies or what she would want to do to live out said fantasies, whatever. And Kiana let us know that she had a hoe phase, okay, honey, and she has lived out every fantasy there is to live out. That includes sex on the beach, and everything else in between. And I wasn't upset about it. Wendy wasn't buying it too much, and I mean, I guess just because that wasn't like the salacious enough answer that she wanted to hear, but I could believe that. Kiana seems like a fun, she's a cute girl. She's a good time. I like to think. I like seeing her on screen. I think she adds a good energy to the group, especially when there's so much stale stank energy on this show already. We could use a little bit more of Kiana. Don't let this be her last season, Bravo. Don't let this be the last time we freaking see her, Bravo. Because y'all know how you like to do, okay? Still trying to figure out where Escala is. Damn it. Anyway. What else did we find out during this game? The longest Wendy has gone without having sex with Eddie is 2 weeks. That was due to a conjunction between her cycle and travel. I was like, girl, I got you beat. Oh, I got you beat, because my husband does not come back home until May. Okay. And what month are we in right now? It is still very much February. So I'm gonna just leave y'all with that. Karen asks Ashley when's the last time she had sex, and Ashley puts on her her secretary voice to tell them that the last time she had sex was in January. However, it was not with Michael. It was with a rebound, somebody, an old flame, so to speak. And it happened after she broke up with Luke, because she's someone that typically jumps from one person to the other. So it was kind of just like a one night stand type deal. And Ashley, all I could think is Ashley just like, she loves to remind us every single chance she gets, y'all, that she is the most codependent person on this earth, or at least on this cast. Like, she gave us a couple of those moments during this episode, and I was just so like, girl, like, annoying. Help yourself. Jeez. So Candiace asks Robyn what is a fetish that her partner has asked her to do. I'm not gonna lie, my face definitely went very straight when this was asked, because I don't like to discuss anything Juan Dixon or Robyn Dixon. I don't, because I think it's a fake sham of a marriage. I think that he don't like that lady. I don't think he wants to really be with that lady. It's just something, it's just a roof over the head, somebody to make sure the kids is good, and it's just easier to have her around. But it's not necessarily because he actually wants to be around. I feel like he wants to be with this one, and that one over there. But again, as I said earlier in this season, and I will continue to say, if she likes it, I love it. If she don't want better for herself, then I'm not going to get up here and advocate for her to do better. She's complacent in that bullshit, and she can keep it going right past this. Well, I will say her answer was, Juan has this like desire to see her in a threesome, or to see her and someone else or whatever. Doesn't really care if it's a man or woman, because for her, I guess it would more likely be a man, because women, like, that's not really her vibe, I guess she was trying to say. And all I was thinking is, where's it at? First of all, this was me. This was my exact face, y'all. This was Karen's exact face, and this was my exact face when she said all that, because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I ain't buying it. I don't buying it. And I don't care. But anyway, so Gizelle, she says that there was a question about, is it better with pastors, athletes, models, I think, different people like that. And Gizelle basically sums it up to models and athletes being pretty much on par with one another. And the only reason why she gave models a little bit more is because Jason, like, she was just trying to big Jason up, basically. But I don't really believe that they really even doing it like that. I don't even really believe that they together like that. So who really gives a anyway? And the biggest thing, though, during this game, you guys, was Mia and her answer and everything she had to say. Wendy, I believe, asked, where is it in my notes? Oh, Robyn then asks Mia what was the name of the rapper she had sex with and when. Instead of answering, she drinks to it, of course. And I can't remember the question that Wendy asked, but I know Wendy asked for a little bit more information, I want to say. And Mia tries to clean it up by saying she wasn't married to Gordon at the time of said incident, said hookup. And the dude, I guess, doesn't want any affiliation. Naka. I wrote Naka down in my notes because that's what they kept calling her. And it just, maybe it's just so nails on a chalkboard for me, you guys, because I'm somebody that my name gets mispronounced almost daily. So for me, there's a emotional tie there. For me, I would never go on to a platform such as the Real Housewives and allow people to not address me and allow people to address me by the wrong name. Like, I just wouldn't. I'm sorry. But she doesn't care because she's just happy to be there amongst the Gizelles and the Robyns and the Ashleys and the Mias and the whoever. Like, she just excited to be there in her North Potomac house. Mm. I didn't even say anything about that earlier. I can't believe. Oh, and I had a screen. I took a picture of when, shout out to production, when Gizelle crowned freaking Aneka the new Grand Dame or whatever. And I appreciate production putting up that map where we see that, yeah. Aneka lives up here, more northern Potomac. We see Karen down here in Potomac. But who doesn't live in Potomac, you guys? This lady right here. This lady right here doesn't live in Potomac. Yeah, she's the one that always has the nerve to talk about somebody else and what they got going on, or is trying to crown other people of Potomac, and she lives in Bethesda. Make that make sense. Shout outs to Mims. I just ridiculous. Don't really care about talking about Karen and her wet dreams. Let's wrap this up, you guys. So after that game, they head on over to the beach. But before they get there, they were riding in a van, of course, because there's 9 of them. And somehow we always need to talk about coochie sweat or vagina. Like, we always need to talk about these things that I really don't understand why we need to talk about them, because I don't, it's not funny or whatever to me. Like, who cares? Whatever. And being the owner of a vagina, I was very bothered by the fact and very grossed out about the fact that Ashley left her bodily fluids on that seat as if somebody didn't need to slide or like. And again, this is coming from the proud owner of a vagina that be vaginaing. Like, we all got them, that's fine, but I don't need you to leave your freaking remnants of said vagina on the seat where I could potentially that just was so just to me, but whatever. Ashley takes this time to scapegoat unprovoked and play victim because why are we still talking about how you are alone in the world and all this stuff? Like, it gives like you need to grow up, but whatever. Y'all, I felt like Karen looked so good in this moment. She looked good throughout the episode. She looked good every time we see her. Like, Karen looks good. There's no denying that. Triple 20 looks amazing on her. But I don't know. She just looked like that girl walking in here like this. So I had to, screenshot that. So I'm going to leave it up there for a second. Hold on. Had to drink a little water. Okay. And we back in it. Boom. So Ashley doesn't feel good about talking about sex and all this stuff because she's still married to Michael, and the only reason why she's still married to Michael is she's afraid to get finalized divorce because he's her financial blanket. Although he doesn't give her cash, we know that he'd be putting down on that mortgage. So of course she doesn't want to finalize that divorce because Ashley is somebody who she doesn't ever want to be broke again, for lack of a better phrase. We know how she grew up. We know how her mama is. We know how Sheila is. And Ashley's not trying to go down that road again. But my only issue is that with Ashley is, what are you doing? What are you actively doing to safeguard yourself and to ensure that your sons have a roof over their head, have food to eat, clothes on their back, all the above, all the things? What are you doing to ensure that, other than staying stuck to somebody? Because I don't care. I don't care if I have to get 25 jobs, y'all. Yes, I said 25 jobs, y'all. I don't care. Just as long as it means I don't have to, just as long as it means I don't have to stay stuck to somebody who looks like, again, Schmeagle, who looks like Darby, who looks like all these things. I don't want to have to stay stuck to somebody like that. That would only make me work harder. But instead, Ashley is like, I don't know. I just can't empathize, and I can't really respect or understand why she is the way she is. I can't. Her logic is just not my logic. So whatever. Then, I misspoke earlier. Sorry about that. This is when things get kind of weird, when Wendy asks Mia if she married Gordon for his money. Now, Mia tries to say, y'all, that she actually had more money than him in the beginning. And that was due to her coming into the marriage having earned an inheritance. I gotta get this mixer working, because I need some sound effects, because all I was thinking is, and I need a sound to accompany that. Anyway, this is why Gizelle's making this face. And y'all, y'all know how on the iPhone you can make stickers and stuff. Like, I made this a sticker because Gizelle just looked really funny in this moment. If you ask me, she looked very auntie-ish too. Her and Robyn, they just look like two aunties, auntie AF, and not the cool one, not the cool stylish aunties, the other aunties. Y'all know. Which is crazy because they literally sitting right next to Karen, who is older than the both of them and is shitting on both of them, if you ask me. Going back to my notes though. So it's just kind of weird and not really making sense, because on one hand, Mia would be talking about how Gordon was a high roller. He was coming in there spending 10K on this and dropping money on that and stuff like that. But she actually had more money than him, because assets and money are two different things, or whatever she said. And at the end of the day, 10K, that's lunch money. That ain't nothing. And that is why, because of this logic, I had no issues with Candiace referring to her as a stripper heiress, because, girl, what? 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 I don't get it. I don't get it, but I don't think we're meant to get it. Anyway, how did you guys feel about Ashley's performance though, of her new song? What is it called? Healing and Thriving. I'm healing and thriving. Or I don't even remember how it went. How'd you guys feel about that? I'm not gonna say she sounded bad. You know, I'm not saying Ashley ain't no Yolanda Adams or nothing, like, but yeah, she didn't sound bad. Doesn't really sound like my type of song, but whatever. Yeah, I do want you to heal and thrive, Ashley, because again, if that is going to make you not have to continue to climb on to Michael and continue to protect him, which is a whole other issue, then yeah, you heal and thrive on, girl. Anyway, who is Gizelle talking about too when she says that a couple of them have been where Ashley is currently, talking about the divorce? Who is Gizelle talking about? I mean, obviously, I know she's talking about herself, but she said a couple of them. So all I could think was, okay, you're talking about yourself. That's she divorced. We got that. Jamal, you know, we got that. Robyn doesn't count because her and Juan never fully went their separate ways. Her and Juan never fully moved on from one another. They never even moved out the damn same house that they was both living in. So that doesn't count, in my opinion. It does not. And was Mia married before? I don't think so. And Mia doesn't count currently because she's going through her divorce right now. So I wouldn't really label that as going through what Ashley's going through right now. Like they both going through it actually. So who is Gizelle talking about it? Y'all let me know in the comments because I was confused when she said that. Anyway, after lunch, they go out to the actual beach, and this particular beach is significant because this is where Martha Stewart shot her Sports Illustrated cover that she did some months back. So because of that, Robyn thought that it would be a great idea for them to do a photo shoot. Did Robyn get a photographer though? No, she did not. Not surprised there. Not surprised at all. There really wasn't much with this, but I'll show you the pictures real quick. They kind of made me laugh, not gonna lie. Karen, the Grand Dame, she does no wrong. My eyes, Aneka looks stupid. Gizelle, moving right along. This actually isn't bad. Mia's doesn't look too bad. Now Wendy's is where it's at. Address me correctly, sweetie, the love doctor. I was here for Wendy's. I think hers was the best. Candiace looks cute too. I need her to pop that booty, to arch that back just a little bit more, but she looked cute. She looked cute. Booty cheeks, Candiace booty cheeks Bassett. That is funny. I didn't even read that the first time. That's funny. I mean, Ashley is, this doesn't make me feel like thirst trap, but whatever. She like it, I love it. Now this right here, y'all, what the fuck is this? Excuse my language. What is this? This picture screams, I don't give a Robyn, every day she walks out, screams. Her appearance in daily life screams, I don't give a This literally looks like she didn't move a muscle. Just like I was saying before about the outfit. Robyn screams no effort, y'all. She screams low budget, y'all. She screams clearance rack, y'all. At all times. This didn't give me nothing, but whatever. And finally, Kiarna. She looked cute. Kiarna's so hot, it's sick. Be more booties. Not mad at it. So whatever, that was cute enough, given the fact they ain't had no actual photographer. So after they execute said photo shoot, Robyn kicks off the mess once again, where it's her and Gizelle and Mia, and she asks if Mia noticed the faces that Candiace and Wendy were making yesterday when Gizelle was speaking, about Grace. And Mia's like, yeah, she noticed it. And Gizelle quickly chimes in. She's real bothered at this point. She's like, and you guys are going to do that when I'm talking about my daughter? Like, get the out of here. And all I could think is, you expect so much courtesy and so much respect in general from individuals that you, every chance you get, disrespect. We've seen Gizelle disrespect Wendy multiple times this season, at Ashley's house, at Wendy's own event / Eddie's event even. We've seen her make faces and, look off into the distance, all very much unbothered. unbothered when Candiace or Wendy especially was speaking all the times. You have written these ladies off in on every level of respect that you could possibly give. Yet you have a chip on your shoulder right now because they were making faces while you were talking about your daughter or whatever. And Robyn, you're trying to make it about the kids. But where was that same? Where was that last year? Where was that last year, Robyn? When you supposedly didn't sorry, where was that last year when, what was it, my mind's waking right now, y'all, but the fun day event or whatever, when she excluded Wendy's kids from that? Where was that sentiment then? The road is supposed to go both ways, but on this show, it's only a one way. And that is the issue. And that is why Candiace says that the goalpost is always moving. That is what we as viewers have such an issue with: the double standards, the lack of accountability, the voluntary ignorance. That is what we have an issue with. And that is why it's hard to watch this show at times. But we ended right there, y'all. We ended right there because Wendy then walked up and is like, what are we talking about? What are y'all talking about? Whatever. So we're going to get into it next week. We're starting to get closer to the season finale, y'all. So I did actually write Andy some questions. I'll share that in my next video or whatever, because I didn't even get the screenshots or whatever. And I'm not trying to make this super long for quite a bit, bumping my gums. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Let me know what you guys thought of my commentary. I'm actually looking forward to next week because I want to see if they're going to speak. I want to see if they're going to talk. If Gizelle's going to answer that question. I want to know if she's going to say, yeah, I have an issue with you making faces when I was talking about my daughter. I wonder if she's really going to come on her face and say that. We'll see. Gizelle was also on Watch What Happens Live, and I can't believe I'm about to say this to you guys, but she actually looked nice. She actually looks decent for her. She wasn't doing too much, which, it can go real bad with Gizelle. It go real tacky, but she looked all right. I'm gonna give her that. And yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it for me with this. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary again. Please be sure to like the video on your way out, y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.